Today we'll be learning an interesting concept in the React, which is known as the hooks. Let's start. What are the hooks in the React? So the hooks are an additional, is a new addition in the React 16.8. So basically, these hooks are used to manage the state in the React without writing any class, right? So what I did, I create an a sample app which basically contain this. So let's start an app. So npm start. So I have started my application. So this is a sample application which I have created. So you can also create by using an npx. So create React app. So this is a create React app I have done. So basically the hooks in the React are used to manage the state in the React. So what we can do, there are many types of hooks which React provide. So we'll be learning two main hooks which are known as the UseState hook and a UseEffect hook, right? So these are the two main hooks which are being provided by the React, but there are many like use context and all, use ref and all. So there are some advanced level of hooks, but we'll be focusing today in these two main hooks, right? So let's start like first we will understand what are the use state hooks, and then we'll be going further with the use effect hook, right? So this use state hooks is used to manage the state and update the state in our React app. So let's take an example, right? So let me create an variable called count, and we'll be using set count to update that state, and we'll be using a use state hook, right? Use state. And this use state hook accept a variable or a function, right? So we can pass a function or a value in this use state hook, and what this use state hook returns basically an entity of two array, right? And two entity of an array. So the first entity would be the state, and the second entity would be the function or a dispatcher which updates the state, right? So suppose we pass a 0 here. So this is the initial value of a count, right? So we have to import this use state hook. So we can import using import a use state from React, right? So we have imported a use state hook, and we can remove these things. So this is not important as of now. So what we can use, like we can have a count, and we can pass this count here, right? So as we can see, so this is updating. So after this compiling, we can see the count is as 0, right? So initial value of the count is 0. So let's see what does actually the use state mean, right? So let's create a button. So we can create a button, right? And we'll be what we'll be doing, we will update a set count, right? So as we click on that button, so this will be updating that um, count, right? So suppose we click on this button, so see this count gets updated, right? So what basically it means is like whenever we click the button, what it does, it pass the count variable and it set the value of that count, right? So the count value is been updated, and every time the state gets changed, the UI get re-rendered, right? So we can also suppose we have added this to increment the count, we can also decrement. So this is an increment, right? Increment. So what it will do is like it basically increment the value of that count, right? So this is incrementing the value. We can also have a same as decrement. So what it will do, it will like decrement, right? And the state would be it will be subtracting the current value of the state. So suppose we increment the value by 1, we can also decrement the value by 1. So as you can see, we have a two button here, and what we are doing here, we are basically changing the state of the current app, right? So this is how the use state hook is being used. We are also having a use effect hook. What use effect hook is basically, it is a hook which is been called as soon as the component get rendered, right? So as soon as this app component get rendered, so that use function, like the use effect hook is been called. So suppose we have an use effect hook, right? So this is a use effect hook, and we can so it contains two, one is the function and another is a dependency array, right? So we can also have a dependency array. So what dependency array means is like, as soon as suppose we can have a depend in this dependency array, we can pass the state. So what we tell the use effect is, as soon as the value in the dependency array changes, we have to rerun this state, right? The use effect function, right? So let's say we do a console log here, and we can console log and use effect, a use effect call, right? So, and we can pass the count as the dependency array. So what we tell the use effect is, as soon as the count is changed, it will run always, it will run every time when the component get rendered, and it will also run as soon as the count state get changed, right? So if we see here, so if we see the console here, in fact, in the console, we can see the use effect has been called, right? So the use effect has been called two times, because as of now I am using the React version 18. In the version 18, it gets updated that the use effect are being called twice. But if you are using 16 version 16, so it will be, in your case, it will be only one time, right? So that is the different case. But let's see, suppose we increment or decrement the value, right? So if we increment the value, see the use effect will be called, right? So as soon as the state get changes, the use effect being called, right? So this is the these are the two hooks which we have studied today. If you like want me to make a detailed video, we can also do that. Thank you.